All right. Hi, Dan. Dan, are you on? Are you there?
Sorry, muted. I was muted. Good morning.
Yeah, I saw you were muted. All right. I think we're ready to go here. Everybody's on WebEx, so we'll call this meeting to order. This is a scheduled 10 o'clock meeting here on September 3rd for a public hearing to consider a request by Burke and Kathy. Is it Kathy or Katie?
Katie's on the phone, or at least that's who it's registered.
It says Katie.
Yeah, maybe that's another family member.
Yeah, it's Burke and Kathy Deal. They're the owners of the property, and then I work for them. I'm their daughter, and I'm their secretary. So.
Okay, good. I'm glad we have that confusion cleared up.
Yep.
So this is a request for a rezone and short plat for Talos Place subdivision. This is case numbers RZ 2020-003 and SD 2020-004. So let's just go through. I know we just heard from Katie. So Katie, I'm assuming you're wishing to speak.
Yeah, I can speak. And I have Burke here with me too.
Okay, and Burke, are you wishing to speak? The reason I'm asking is because we need to swear people in who wish to speak.
If I need to, so sure.
Okay, all right, we'll swear you guys in. I don't have anybody else in the room or on WebEx, so
Okay.
Monica.
Dan Lister, Katie Deal, Burke Deal, do you swear or affirm that testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I do.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Dan, if you want to take over here.
All right. Thank you, Commissioners. Dan Lister, Planner 2 for DSD. Before you is two requests. The first request is to rezone the 3-acre property to an R1 zone. This would allow the property to be divided into a total of 2 lots for a subdivision before you today, Kalos Place. This property is located at 1577 Quartz Lane. As you can see on the aerial, this is a unplatted lot kind of mushed between 2 subdivisions, River's Edge subdivision and Riverfront Estate subdivision. This was, I believe, the owner of this property was the original owner of River's Edge subdivision who did the subdivision and left the parcel out. In 2007, they did come through with a conditional use permit to do this division that is before you today. However, it expired in 2010. So our process has changed since then. It requires a rezone in order to plat it as requested. So that's what they're here today to request. Again, here's the plat of River's Edge subdivision. So you can see where that unplatted parcel is located. They have access through the subdivision through an easement, as you can see on the screen. They have access to a private road, Quartz Lane, that provides the access to this lot. The subdivision, as shown here, is a 2-lot subdivision on the 3 acres. The lot 2 below already has a dwelling on it. The lot 2 contains a 100-foot setback. That setback has the floodplain, the A zone that's within there, and also a wildlife buffer that was provided. If you going back to River's Edge subdivision, you can see that they have a wildlife buffer down here, which also has the floodplain within that area. And so the plat shows that they're matching that 100-foot floodplain that's similar to that subdivision next door. Actually, both subdivisions on both sides have that similar wildlife corridor, and they're matching it. The average lot size is 1.5 acres. The lot will be served through a shared driveway, 50-foot wide easement established by that River's Edge subdivision. You'll have individual wells and septic. Water rights exist for that property. The irrigation system consists of adding just a service point from the existing gravity system to the new lot, and then runoff will be maintained on site by each owner. Runoff will be directed by permeable areas on the property to it. So a very straightforward subdivision. To the left is the zoning map. It shows that the area and a 1 mile radius around it is all agriculturally zoned. However, our future land use plan shows this area to be a residential zone. It's probably because it's a little over a mile away from Homedale's area of impact, where they show a lot of residential development within that area. So it's commensurate with that. To the left, as you can see, there's the vicinity map. A lot of the properties around it consist of between 1 to 3 acre size properties. The property is surrounded by 9 subdivisions within a 1 mile radius with a 3.15 acre average lot size. This map to the left is our lot classification map, and what I like to use this for is to show the different sizes of lots within that area. The different coloring tells you the different sizes. In this case, when the division occurs, it'll be an orange lot, so 1.1 to 2 acres. So as you can see, there's a lot of red, which is 1 acre lots or less. And then there's a lot of orange in that area. So it would be very similar to lots within a 1 mile radius, the type of lot sizes. To the right, you can see that this is located outside of a nitrate priority area. Comments. So agency comments, Golden Gate Highway District commented saying their jurisdiction stops at Hoskins Road. Course line is private. They just require to sign the final plat. At the end of the day, Boise Project Board of Control just identifies it's not within their area. It's Wilders. They have valid water rights, and they just require that there's easements and other protections to existing drainage, which they do have on their plat. DEQ provided general response, but did not have any specific recommendations regarding this plat or this rezone. Your staff report came with comments from neighbors. There's one from Don Boglan and Tim and Christine Steele. They did not oppose this request. However, they did require them to have a road users maintenance agreement for that private road, so they pay their fair share into maintenance of that road, and also requested that they include a CCNR that protects the area similar to the subdivision surrounding it. We did receive a letter from Michael and Mary Beth Fott, who opposed this completely just because of the lot sizes are not consistent with the 2 subdivisions surrounding it, and again, concerned that this doesn't have a CCNR, so the owner can do whatever they want. During the P&Z hearing, this was addressed, and they added conditions to the plat, required them to have CCNRs, road users maintenance agreement, water users maintenance agreement, and the applicant agreed to that. And so they have been working with the neighbors. To my understanding, some of those conditions are already met. They're already recorded their water users maintenance agreement. They're putting the final touches on their road users maintenance agreement, working with that subdivision, River Edge Estates, or River's Edge subdivision, and also having a CCNR that matches their a lot of their concerns regarding CCNRs around that subdivision. So it sounds like the applicant is actually working with those subdivisions right now under those conditions. So with that being said, oh, this is incomplete. Okay, sorry, my PowerPoint presentation is incomplete. So staff is recommending approval. This is very similar. I was supposed to say on a certain date, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval. I guess I got ahead of myself there and forgot about my time. Anyways,
we can apply that in there.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. But the Planning and Zoning Commission also recommended approval of this rezone and subdivision. So therefore, staff is also recommending approval of the requests. Below are some of the conditions, again, that were applied to this. There's our standard conditions for the plat, but we also wanted Homedale Rural Fire to review this just to make sure it's in compliance. And I think that the owner or the applicant was going to go talk to them today. And to my understanding, they have already kind of signed off on a water and access approval for that. So I don't think there's going to be any issues. Water users agreement for the maintenance of that irrigation system. Road users maintenance agreement for that private road and the shared driveway, which it sounds like they're almost done with. I added a note, I added a condition during the P&Z hearing that they are, the 100-foot setback is described similarly to the original subdivision River's Edge, where they talk about why there's a 100-foot setback and what type of structures are allowed or can be allowed with that. So they have added that as Plat Note 11 on the plat, and they also, I didn't put it on here, I guess I missed it, but they also agreed to a condition of adding CCNRs to this plat. And again, as stated, the applicant has worked with the surrounding or the River's Edge subdivision to make sure it's commensurate with their CCNRs. With that, if the Board of County Commissioners decides to approve this today, the order of decision should be the signing of the rezone RZ 2020-003, followed by the signing of the ordinance amending the zoning map, and then the FCOs to be signed for the preliminary plat. And this concludes staff's presentation. I'm open to answering any questions you have.
Thanks, Dan. I've got two or three questions came to mind while you're speaking there. You answered two of them in the context of your presentation, and those two were regarding the road agreement and the CCNRs, which I think has been covered adequately. So and we'll hear from Katie, and I'm assuming, Katie, when you speak, you will confirm that that has been agreed upon with the applicant here. The other question I had is not necessarily with this one, but it's back to your acreage size map there. It showed red with 1 acre or less. Are there allowable lots less than 1 acre in that area?
Some are, but you have to remember some of those divisions, especially in the red area, were done prior to 1979. So they were considered original lots, and back in those days, the ag zone and the RR zone allowed for, I believe, less than half-acre size lots within that zone. So, yeah, so it was probably approved at a later day or earlier time.
Earlier time. Okay, I was just wondering about that because I know today we wouldn't allow less than 1 acre lots out in that kind of an area there.
Correct.
And just to let everybody know that Tricia Nielsen, our DSD director, has arrived here as well. So if we have any questions for her, she can answer those as well. All right, Leslie.
Thank you. Dan, I have a question on the plat map, and it has to do with the shared access. So you're saying that there's a quartz lane, but you have a notation on Dunn that runs north and south. Is Dunn what's going to be extended south toward the river with west access on that, on those two properties? Is that right?
Yeah, so maybe I don't know if I understood your question correctly, but this is our access right here. This is existing. This is a 50-foot access that was part of River's Edge Estates. So that's their shared access as they have it now. And then, just to change the color here, then the next, this is the new access that extends down. This is the extended shared access for, so as you see it there, so that would be 60-foot wide right there. That goes all the way down to the lot that would have the existing house, and then this lot here would be the one that would be the new buildable lot. So that, so the shared access, they have an existing access and this extended shared access basically that would require, as our conditions state, would have the road users maintenance agreement as well as an agreement for this right here, this private road that goes through here. So that's what they're working on right now.
That quartz lane?
Yes. So I'll go to a different map so you can see that lane. So the original one here is the private road that comes through here, and then quartz lanes right here. So that's platinum, and then that's quartz. And so, and here's the existing as approved of that subdivision. So the road users agreement that they're agreeing to includes this easement here for their shared access between those two lots, but also an agreement with River's Edge Estates of how they're going to share their, maintain their portion of the private road. So where they pay their fair share into the maintenance of that as well.
Right.
Okay, and then maybe I'm just confused about how far this goes down. On the plat map, that's what I'm assuming that the portion that's blacked out in there, Dan, is the portions of lots that we're looking at. And so do you see where there's a notation of Dunn Lane? And that has a house on it at the south end of that property.
Here, I'm trying to see what you're talking about as regarding Dunn Lane.
Yeah, I was just confused because I didn't know if it was on the east side or the west side, and evidently the house.
I think that's part of that is part of Quartz Lane. It says Dunn there, but that's according on to the map here. That's Quartz Lane.
I'll have Dan.
Yeah, so there's no Dunn anymore. It's Quartz, and then it goes in just to a shared easement on the current property owner's property.
Right.
Okay, so Hoskins, then you turn south, and that is now Quartz Lane. And
correct.
Then it will extend south down there on that easement. And is the access, it's on the west side of that piece of property, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Katie. Katie, would you like to address the board?
Yeah, so we do have a road user agreement and a water users agreement. This morning I got the CCNRs recorded at the recorder's office. We just had a little bit of a notary issue, so we have those all signed, and I'll be back in today to get those two documents signed and recorded. And then as far as the fire department's approval, I do have their approval. They were here at the property when we started the process, and they've approved the lot for building, so that should meet that condition as well.
Okay, sounds like you're really ahead of the game here. You're taking care of this stuff that really helps out in these kind of processes. Anything else that you have to add?
No.
I don't think we have anything else. Yeah, we'll just get those things recorded as soon as possible, and we have been working with the subdivision just to make sure that we are good on that end, that we are meeting their conditions and their requests. So.
Okay. And Burke, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I don't, unless you have any questions for us.
Are there any questions? Chris, you had something?
Is the Mylar going to be here to be signed, or short plat?
We're not scheduled to sign a Mylar. We're signing findings of fact, conclusions of law. It doesn't say anything about a plat.
Yeah.
Through the chair, so typically on a short plat, if they come in at this time and the preliminary plat can be approved and the conditions are shown to be met, we have you sign the final plat at the same time. It's one of those ones that go through the system pretty quickly because it's supposed to be minor. In this case, there's a couple of conditions that still need to be met. So what we'll do is just at a later date agendize that final plat signing when all the conditions are met. So once those recorded documents get completed and they're submitted to us, then it'll be a time to agendize that signing.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Katie or Burke?
No, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Chair, then with the information, I move that we close the public testimony.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with this. This was done right before that crash in 2008, and so they're picking back up. It was a decision that the board overturned the denial by planning and zoning at that time, but this, I appreciate Dan providing that overlay map showing that there are other parcels and the proactivity of the applicant in wanting to provide a road users maintenance agreement and comply with the setbacks to preserve the riparian corridors and stay out of the flood zone, and just the different steps that have been outlined through this process, Mr. Chair. I don't have a problem with this moving forward.
This is a great project to me, in my opinion. It'll make better use of that land out there and looks to me to be ready to go. So,
Mr. Chair, then I move that we sign the rezone RD 2020-003 and amend the ordinance, and then sign the findings of facts and conclusions of law and order for SD 2020-004.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, and we'll look forward to having you guys move forward on that. And anything else, Tricia or Dan?
Nope.
All right, that'll conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.